Again. I'm back. We do have Julia now. Time difference. It's a bummer. It's so annoying. It's so confusing. But yeah, we got a little confused, but we are back and we're gonna be chatting to Julia and having a listen to some of her music and yeah, just seeing what she's been up to. I know she's just released an EP, so it'd be great to talk about that. If you do have any questions for her, please put them in the comments or in one of the question boxes and I will try and get round to them. I've got quite a lot of things that I want to ask her myself. But yeah, if you were on the live before, I hope you enjoyed the little sing-song. I don't think I could have filled an hour's worth of music, but we will try and add her in now. There we go. Right.
Oh, here she is. Lovely. Right. Hopefully it all works.
Hi, it happened. It's working.
Oh, finally. How are you?
I'm good. I figure like anytime I work with somebody over in the UK, usually there's like a Google invite because not only do I rely on Google for time differences, I'm super dyslexic. So we were not set up for success.
No, it's so confusing. I thought, because it's just like when you both get different answers, it's like, but what, how does that work? But, oh well.
Exactly.
Better late than never anyway. It's only 9. It's not like it's midnight over here.
I hope that you I don't know, you didn't have a long day, you're not super tired, you weren't like looking forward to putting on a movie or something.
No, I've been isolating at the moment, so it's all pretty boring. So this has been a nice little highlight. But yeah, thank you for coming on. If you want to basically introduce yourself, tell people who you are, what kind of music you make, because I think quite a lot of my followers probably won't know who you are. But yeah, introduce yourself, sell yourself.
Oh no. Okay. I'm Julia Cannon. I have a lot of social anxiety, so it'll take me a minute to not be weird. I'm from Alaska and currently based in Nashville, Tennessee, here in the US. I play folk music, jazz music, Americana, weird pop. Kind of don't like to do one thing, but I produce my own music and have a cat named Pudding. She's like even more anxious than me. Like she's supposed to be my emotional support animal, but it's like kind of the other way around.
Actually.
And yeah, that's all that you need to know about me.
Awesome. Yeah, when I was looking through all of your music and stuff, there is such an array of music. And I think one of the things I wanted to ask was, do you find that you have kind of eras of music? Are there times where you, like obviously these last few months, the last EP release was quite country. Is that just how you're feeling at the moment? Or was that just how the songs panned out? Or was it planned? Or is it all kind of, you make it up as you go along what kind of music you want to make?
Yeah, I've been playing with my band for so long before the pandemic, and I was really looking forward to recording like a full band EP. That would have been more like folk, rock, soulish, I guess. And I was like, I don't know, I really wanted to make music, so it just kind of happened. Like one of the songs on the EP that I wrote more is really kind of Americana country, which kind of it came out of nowhere. And I'm always just like, all right, let's go with it. But it's definitely like now people are saying like that I'm a country singer and I don't like to be put in that box. So
yeah, that's fair enough. It does really suit you though, that country vibe.
Thank you.
It's such a nice kind of relaxing, really soothing EP. Like when you listen to it, it just makes you happy.
Well, that's nice to hear. I was so depressed when I made it.
Well, at least that's good. You get this like positive art coming out of a hard time.
That's true. If I didn't finish it, I probably would have been even more depressed. I feel like a lot of people really wanted to come out of like the pre-vaccination era with like something to show for, even though we were all so depressed and going through like this crazy roller coaster of emotions and this once in a century pandemic. Like even though it's illogical, like everyone that I know that's a creative was like, but I have to make it mean something. And I totally fell into that too.
Well, it's hard not to. There's everyone was doing stuff and sharing it, and like the only way you can access it is through social media, and that's all.
Yeah,
You just feel like everyone's doing so much more than you are, when actually just surviving is more
we're
than
all
enough.
crying. We're all crying and like trying to look like we're doing okay. It was rough making it, but I'm mostly relieved that it's out there so that I can do something else now.
Yeah, I see. When I was looking through like all your socials, I see that there's a lot about this EP being like really cathartic for you and being kind of a really good thing to put your energy into. Is that something that you find all of your music is, or is this EP kind of special in that way because it was during this time and lots of stuff was happening around it as well?
Yeah, that's a good question. I started writing music in a therapeutic way, I think. Like I grew up in this really crazy household. My mom loved to take in homeless people and like help rehabilitate people who were addicts or had bad family life. She's Filipino, so it's like she had this island mentality, which was really annoying, but also like she's got such a big heart. But like we had 20 people in my house at one point,
Wow.
and so I had a lot of feelings about it, and I started to write songs, not specifically about that, but like it's always been an outlet. And I guess, man, having someone ask you questions is crazy because I don't think about this stuff. Right? Like, um, yeah, I've like always had pretty severe anxiety and like go teeter between manic and
Mm.
depressive. So yeah, but last year definitely the worst year of my life, of all of our lives, probably.
Yeah, it was hard. It was really hard, but we're nearly, we've come out the other side just about. We're still here.
We're at least mostly vaccinated. We're
Yeah,
getting there.
we are getting there slowly. Is that something you're? I'm not sure what stage you are in the States. Are you
Yeah.
able to go out gigging at the moment?
So we are, but we're in this weird place where like I don't know how far you guys are with vaccinations, but like we're at 50%, 50 something percent vaccinated here
Right.
in Tennessee. Most of the country is at around like 50, 40% vaccinated. So things are starting to happen again. And it's the kind of the mentality of like, well, if you're not vaccinated, it's your fault. But there's all of this political stuff going on. It's, don't want to get into that, but it's crazy. But now there's the Delta variant
Yeah.
and it's getting weird again, but definitely not as bad as it was. Like things are happening, but it's kind of like is this okay?
I know
Kind of
exactly what you
feeling.
mean. Going out and like trying to enjoy something, and it's like, oh, but
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, like you're too close to me. Like I
Yeah.
went and I ordered something from a bakery near my house, and this man was like too close to me, and I was like, is this a normal distance or like is this my PTSD? He's very close. Like, can I say something?
Yeah,
It's
it's a
gonna take
weird.
a while.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a long time to just get like social norms to a level that everyone kind of understands them. But
I think it's gonna
uh,
take a long time because people are weird. Like if there are weird vibes out there. Like there's this nervous energy. Like people are they're scrambling for gigs and performance opportunities. And like my boyfriend is a keyboard player and he plays out a lot. But he and I have been getting gigs like uh, there's something tonight in 3 hours. Can you make it?
I see.
You need to learn these songs by next week. Can you do it? It's like, no. Like, why would we want to be stressed out and uncomfortable in this boat with you? Especially if it's not going to like pay super great, it's a mess.
Yeah. Is that something that you have found, having obviously having a band that you played with for so long? It must be really lovely to kind of know each other so well. How long have you guys played together for?
A lot of the people that were in my band I'd known since college, so
Oh,
like just
okay.
under 10 years. But my drummer moved to New York in the pandemic, and who else moved? We lost our rehearsal space because here in Nashville, like literally like a week before things shut down last year, we had a tornado come through, and it just like demolished a bunch of the city. So like we couldn't rehearse, people moved, everything is different. So I'm kind of like, I haven't played with my band yet this year
Right.
because of the EP. This is a really depressing interview. I'm sorry. So I haven't played with them yet. Luckily, I live with my keyboard player, and like if I
Always helps.
needed to do a gig, I could. But I kind of like, I'm not ready, you
No,
know? I don't think
that's
I'm
fair enough.
ready. I've done some backup gigs with a band that I really like here in town called Pet Envy. Been doing like background vocal stuff. And even that is like overwhelming because people, I feel like people are like extra crazy now that things are happening again. Like people are coming up to you, like touching on you, saying weird stuff because they've all been shut in for a year plus.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. People are going mental. Same here, like festivals are just open and it's just like,
Yeah.
everyone's losing their minds. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. No one knows.
I mean, are you ready to start playing again or?
Well, I mean, I've got lots of stuff booked, and I just kind of hope that I can stand on stage like 2 meters away from people, and then
Yeah.
like kind of sneak out. But I just it's a social side of it. It's gigging
It's
is a
very
social
social.
thing, and it's really hard to do that being, not close to each other, and because it's always a packed bar or a packed pub,
Yeah.
and it's really hard for performers who have this mentality because it's kind of like you can't have both. It's really hard to have
No.
both.
Yeah, you can't have both. And I'm an introvert, like already. So like I already had social anxiety after shows. And it
Right.
just like I know it's probably gonna take a while and thank God for therapy. But my social anxiety was bad before the pandemic. So now I'm worried that I'm gonna get off stage and I can like I'll be great until I get home. And then I get home and I'm like thinking about everyone who touched me and what did I say and like just too much. Like I feel like some people absorb energy and some people give off a lot of energy. I'm like an energy sponge. So if people are like throwing energy at me, like I need to be wrung out and like it's too much.
No, I get that. Is that something that you've been enjoying with this EP? I saw that you like produced it and mixed everything yourself. Is that something you did at home?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I went to school for.
Awesome.
Um, and what I used to do a lot more of, and it's like I always produce my music, but it's mostly because I'm a control freak and also because I'm very poor. Like, if I wanted
Expensive.
to pay someone to do everything, I'm still not sure that I would because then it's like you're emailing back and forth, like sending, like, can you turn this down? Can you tweak this? And like, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, if you've got the skills to do it, it is so much easier to do it yourself, get exactly what you want.
But then you go crazy.
It's
Yeah.
very easy to get absorbed into something, isn't it?
Just like obsessed. Like I'll be going back and forth to my car towards the end of production, like before I send things to mastering. And like all that my boyfriend sees is like me in my robe with my slippers and my laptop just back and forth, back and forth. He's like, have you eaten yet today? So,
It takes a long time as well, and the but you can tell the music sounds. I was listening to your first EP, My Name is Julia, as well. Is that something that you that was a self-production thing as well? Because it
yeah.
sounds for a first release, it's like, oh, this person knows exactly what they want to do with this track and this record, and um yeah, it just sounds really set. You know exactly what you want. Is that something that you had in mind, or it just came
No.
like through learning through college and stuff like that, or is it a
Um,
natural thing?
I don't know. That one, I always hate everything as soon as I'm done with it. Like I don't know if you're like that. I just get so tired of it and of hearing myself. Like I think you have to be somewhat of a narcissist to get to a certain level of success. And I don't know if I'll ever get to that level because I'm tired of my own face and my own voice. Like I love singing and I love playing, but like I don't want to hear it. Like if someone puts on my music, I'm like I will kill you and everyone that you love. But with that one was fun. I just went over to my friend's house with like my scratch tracks and we recorded in their living room and then I mixed it on like headphones and my laptop in my college apartment. I pulled projects from Spotify because they were terrible. Because like I've always done things myself and I love learning and going through that process, but I feel like I've gotten way more organized because with that one, I was probably drunk the whole time because it was college. I honestly don't remember. I just remember bringing it over to my friend's house and being like, okay, bass and drums, let's go.
Sounds like a great way to write an EP.
Yeah.
So it's self-production as well. It's such a different beast to songwriting as well. Do you struggle with it? You know, do you have advice for people who are starting out producing? Are there things that you've learned, big mistakes or big achievements that you've learned along the way?
I think trying to do everything too fast is the biggest mistake that I still struggle with because like I said, like I'm a control freak. I journal almost every day to try to organize my thoughts. I've got to-do lists like all over my desk over there. And I think one of the things that I've learned to do that's been really productive is to like separate things into like stages. Like I try not to think about production when I'm writing the song. It's just that is purely an emotional thing. And then when you like start tracking, it, even though it's really tempting, they tell you like do not mix it. Don't touch anything, okay? And just make sure that everything is there before you go into production, into like the mixing stages. And then when you're mixing, you have to like keep your hands off of like the mastering process because you'll piss off whoever's mastering for you. Like it's just like reining yourself in is the biggest struggle for me because my brain, I either hyper focus or I have ADHD. Like there's nothing in the middle. And when you self-produce, it's really easy to try to rush everything because you're like, it's right there, you know?
Yeah. And then you know, if you give it 2 weeks and don't listen to it and then you come back and it's like, oh, this is a completely different track to what I thought it was.
Yeah. Like people are like asking me like what kind of timeline do you give yourself? And it's like I try really hard not to give myself a timeline until things are like really close to done. Otherwise, you just go crazy.
Too
Because
much
like,
pressure.
and you could hate something. Like things need to incubate, I think. Like I redid like every song on this EP. I just went in one day and I was like, this is terrible. Probably more than once.
Well, I mean, it ended up pretty nice. It's a lovely EP.
Thank you. I'm sure I'll like it eventually.
Well, I mean, it's nearly got like 10,000 streams, hasn't it? That's pretty, you know, lots of people like it.
Or lots of people are just not, I don't know. Someone was telling me the other day, like, we were talking about, or I saw someone post and then I like commented on it, that you get to a place where people are being nice to you and then you think they're lying to you. And I don't know what that is about, but I feel that. Like, have you ever had a friend with terrible music taste? Like, all they listen to is, like, no shade on Kesha, but I just can't. With, like, her first full-length album is terrible. And so I have a friend who's, like, obsessed with Kesha. And then he would turn around and hype me up, and I'm like, either you've got shit taste, and that means I'm shit, or you're lying. Like, something is not adding up here.
No, definitely not lying. It's really lovely music.
But does that mean that Kesha is also the same level of?
I don't think I could put the two in the same bowl. I think you know, you're here, Kesha's like, you know, the other side of the room in like the next house.
That's true.
Something completely different.
Or like someone who just like, you know, their taste in music and they like your music. But like that's also not fair because we all have our guilty pleasures. We all have the stuff that we listen to. Yeah. It's just really hard to take a compliment and really hard to believe that people actually like what you make, you know?
Yeah, especially when it's a lot of it is for you, you know, like a lot of musicians make music for themselves and then they put it out for other people to enjoy as well. But the whole process is such an important one for the actual artists themselves that it's kind of hard to put that out to other people sometimes, especially when it's like really personal or from an emotive kind of state of mind that you were in when you were making it.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, I feel like not everybody is like this. It feels like mostly women have like a high level of imposter syndrome, whereas men and male identifying people are just like, I'm the greatest. You know? Like,
maybe
what
we
is
should
that?
maybe we should be more like that.
How? Tell me how.
We just say it into existence. But yeah, I mean, I can tell you with complete certainty, I'm not lying. It is really good. I mean, when I was looking for people to come on, I was kind of scouring my brain of lots of like new artists like you that I've met through like TikTok and I hadn't heard of before. And I think when you actually dive into the music behind the like social profile, it's completely different. It's so like nice to actually, because TikTok is such a tiny little thing. And
Yeah,
when you actually
but
think,
it's
oh,
huge.
yeah, this person has like hours and hours worth of music that I just haven't heard because you can only get 15 seconds of it onto this. It's so nice to just sit and listen to something as a project as someone like intended it to be.
And like TikTok is like you're selling yourself, but if you're too promotional, then nobody is gonna see
I know.
it. So
It's
I can't
ridiculous.
go on and be like, this is my music in full. They're gonna be like, make me laugh, do the dance.
I
Like
know. It's an
it's such a
impossible
weird
balance.
tool.
But it has, I mean, I found it quite reasonably positive. I found I've,
Yeah,
you know, made a lot of friends through it as well.
I agree. I've actually was so skeptical to join because I was just like, this looks like work.
It
And it
is.
is work. It is work to do it. I just wasn't ready, but the community is so positive and supportive that it's
Mm.
great. It's such a weird tool. Like if you were to take somebody from the past, like even like the 80s and be like, look at this. They wouldn't be able to wrap their head around it. It's such a weird thing.
Mm. It is. And there are people on there, or, you know, people you've discovered musically that you're kind of looking out for, really excited about seeing them grow in their new music and stuff.
Yes, but I don't remember any of their names. There's actually someone that I met because like I remember like their handles. I met
I
someone
know.
in real life at a show and I was like, I follow you on TikTok. And she was like, oh yeah, I know you. And I was like, I don't know your name. Like, who are you?
It's
It's
so weird,
really
isn't it?
weird coming back into like I feel like over the past year people really connected online and now that things are in real life again, it feels like I don't know. It's like I know you. We've been talking, but I don't know you.
Yeah, exactly. It's very different meeting someone in person and actually, like, you know, spending time with someone on off social media. It's very different, but
Yeah.
but thank you for coming on and speaking on this, even though it's
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah.
um,
This isn't real life.
but we'll pretend it is. It's fine. um, I've got a question come up, and then do we fancy maybe a song if you're still
You
up
know
for that?
what? I don't even I have not played in like 2 weeks because I've been traveling.
Well,
I could.
I'll do this question, and I'll leave it up to you. It's your decision.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what someone has asked. Um, oh, okay. What's the music scene like in Nashville today? Is country still the biggest thing?
I think like in the touristy part of town where like if you live here you don't go there that much. It definitely is. There's definitely like a lot of country pop coming out of here. But I
Right.
think it's mostly like singer-songwriter and then there's even like tonight there's like a big event called Sunday Night Soul. It's kind of like Nashville has an identity crisis and it's great. Um Mostly though I would say like songwriter type stuff.
Is that a good thing for you? Like gigging?
Yeah, I think it's a great thing because everybody who moved here is from all over the place. And so it's a diverse, like if you say songwriter, like there's so many different corners of music that songwriting can stem from. So there'll be like more punk is resurging, which is really strange to me because I didn't really like it then. And so now it's back. Like My Chemical Romance type stuff. Like there's a couple groups here doing that thing. There's some like soul songwriter type stuff. There's people like me. It's a mixed bag, but definitely not a big scene for like hip hop R&B though. It's here, but it is not big. I think it's because we're so close to Atlanta too. Like that's where those people went.
Right. It's weird how it's quite kind of different to here. Like the States have a identity in so many different things.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it's really interesting though.
People don't think about like how much of America is just like the middle of nowhere, first of all, and just how big. There's no reason for this country to be so big. That is all just like greed. It's greed, and that's why we don't run smoothly because we got too many. There's too many cooks in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It takes forever to do anything.
Yeah, it's like amazingly big when you look at it. I'd love to. I think went to like New England and Virginia once, and that was it. But I'd love to come to Nashville and look at and just experience it for the music scene. But it is so different when you're visiting and when you actually live there, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, and also Nashville's pretty spread apart. Whereas like in New England, everything is like so close together and on top of each other. It's kind of why I like it here because I don't love being around people all the time. Like I live 20 minutes outside of the city, and it's great. And when I lived in cities, I was way more anxious, like way more anxious.
Yeah, they do that to you. They are less stressful. Too much noise, too many people.
Yeah, I could play a song. I honestly like our studio's kind of a mess because I didn't anticipate playing a song.
Well, yeah, if you're happy to, I'd love to hear one, but I'll leave it up to you.
I'm gonna have to like run into the other room though, because
go for it.
My boyfriend had a gig, so his keyboard is literally like it's all. So hold on, I'll be right back.
Making a mess. All right. If anyone has any last minute questions they want to get in, please do put it in the question box. I will also post loads of Julia's music in my story afterwards. It's really good. Promise, I'm not lying. But yeah, it's good to get some American, points of view and musicians because I forget how different it is to here in England and how different it is everywhere but England. You get kind of sucked into your own little bubble in Nottingham. But it's good to expand it a little bit. I hope it's expanding yours. I'm excited for this song.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about the keyboard. That's my boyfriend. He's downstairs. It's all his fault. Entirely his fault. Oh God, I haven't. So now you have to hear me tune because it's been humid.
Oh, that's my like favorite noise when I'm like at a gig and I have to just make noise over tuning.
It's not gonna be on top. I've been playing my electric mostly, but then that's like a whole thing to set up, so I'm not gonna do that. This is your fault.
I do apologise. I'm sure it's gonna be worth it. Definitely, I'm looking forward to it. What have you got? A track in mind?
No.
Good.
I don't have anything in mind. The Shore is really easy to play.
Yeah,
I have
nice
a million songs. Also, I don't know why I didn't think that I would be singing today. We're both musicians. I should have thought this through. Hold on. Yeah, I should do something off the EP, right? That would make the most sense.
Of course.
Okay, here we go. I hope I remember it.
Sure you will.
Teach what you think you know and nothing more. Love is an open door. Love is a household chore. Paint for me what you've had of loss and pain. The children are listening. Children are listening. Daddy, won't you step outside? Tell them that life is a fight and they lose sometimes. Tell them that the world's at war and it's cold in the water, but there is a shore. Oh. We'll set aside our pride and lead by showing pain as a part of life and fear as the twisting knife. Daddy, won't you step outside? Tell them that life is a fight and they'll lose sometimes. Tell them that the world's at war and it's cold in the water, but there is a shore. We're gonna raise them right and they'll all speak up. Love is an open door. Love is a household chore.
Yay!
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I hope that sounded okay with my headphones in.
Yeah, it sounded lovely. That's such a lovely track off that EP. Thank you very much for doing that.
Thank
That was lovely.
you for they almost didn't come out.
Sorry for putting you on the spot, but I'm glad it came out. It sounds really lovely.
Thank you.
Well, very glad you came on. Lovely to meet you. Thank you very much, and hopefully we'll be crossing paths on social media. I'm sure. You know, never know. One day in the future, we'll both be on world tours. We'll meet in the middle somewhere.
Exactly. That's exactly. We'll both be hiding from the crowds because it's overwhelming. And I'll see you in the green room.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I'll share your music to my story after this, and hopefully everyone can give it a little listen, get you to 10K. But thank you so much. It was lovely to meet you, and yeah, we'll speak soon, I guess.
Thanks for having me. I'm sorry that Google lied and that this had to start late.
No worries. Doesn't matter. It's only 9. We'll survive.
All right. Have a good rest of your night.
Awesome. You too. Cool. That was nice. Yeah, it is different, the US angle. I forget how different it is. Awesome. Okay, so that was Julia Cannon. If you haven't listened to her, please do go check her out. Her latest single, Listening's, just come out. It's a country album, really lovely and soothing. That's for sure. Is one of the tracks on it. I think you'll like it. I like it. I think it's really good. So yeah, thank you very much for coming along for another Spread the Love. I've got one next week, I believe. I'll let you know TikTok or Instagram who it is. I'll be posting about it soon. But thank you very much for coming along again, and have a lovely evening. Oh my god. You know when I just cannot press the right button. I'll do it now.